She is definitely a Bawdy favorite. She has been voted in a number of times. We did a best of back in the 5-year mark, and I think she was part of that one too. Give it up super fucking hard for Allison Moon!
Thank you. That was a stage motorboat, by the way, because she just said she didn't want to mess up her makeup. How femme is that? You're adorable. Hi, everyone. Hi. Thank you so much for voting for me as part of the Best of Bawdy. I really love this event, and I'm so honored to be part of it, and I'm so honored that you like me enough. And I'm so happy that this has been such a success for you for 7 years. 7 fucking years. Nothing lasts 7 years in San Francisco. It's really wonderful. You should be so proud. And I love that the audience is always expanding and getting more interesting and diverse and more new blood. So thank you for being here. And it's actually funny because my partner and I are also celebrating our 7th anniversary this year. Yeah, I know, isn't that weird? Like queer poly sluts, 7 years. Like queer years, that's like 21 or something, right? And then in poly years, that's like 11 billion? I don't know. It's a lot, so I'm kind of shocked as well. So my partner Reed also was one of the Best of Bawdy, but he couldn't be here tonight, so I promised I would tell a story about us. So I will tell a story about our sex life for y'all. So it's funny because our relationship has lasted so long, you know, for queer poly people, and it's actually kind of lasted longer than a lot of the relationships in our community, and so we've become these like queer poly oracles that other people will come to and be like, how does it work? Like, how do you make it work? Like, you're so lucky. Like, how does it work for like queer poly sluts? And like, how do you do that? And I actually have come up with an answer. It's like threefold. It's like 3 tenets that I really believe in. And the first one is that we we are transparent and honest with each other even when it's hard. You know, we show up, we do the work. It's not always easy, but no matter how confronted or triggered we are, we like show up and we are committed to our relationship. And number 2 is that we both support each other in our independent individual expressions, self-expression, sexual expression, art, creativity, entrepreneurship. We really support each other in our individual successes, and that allows us to be strong. And then the third thing is that Reed really, really loves it when I fuck him up the ass all the fucking time. It's just fucking up that fucking ass. So like those 3 things combined really create a strong foundation of love and trust. And I want to emphasize that our relationship was not saved by pegging. Like, this is not like some Dr. Phil bullshit. Like, our relationship was founded on pegging. Literally. When I met Reed, before I met Reed, I was a lesbian. I was fully like card-carrying, velvet blazer wearing, PBR chugging, self-haircut at homing, West Hollywood dyke. And then I met Reed, and I was still a dyke because that guy creeped me out a little bit. I wasn't into it. I thought he was a cheese dick, not my style. And there are people like, yeah, totally, yeah. At first, yeah. So I was not interested. And then he invited me to be part of this camp he was creating at Burning Man called Camp Beaverton, Home for Wayward Girls. Any beavers in the house? Yes. If you are not a beaver, you have been touched by a beaver in this area, I guarantee. So Camp Beaverton is the largest home for queer women at Burning Man, and so I'm like, okay, I will probably make some friends. Sure, I'll go. So I went, and I became one of the founding members of Camp Beaverton that first year on the playa, and it was fantastic. And my second night at the burn, there was the strap-on-a-thon. Any strap-on-a-thon enthusiasts in the room? Yeah. So the Strap-On-a-thon is the women's only play party that the Beavers throw every year on the playa. And I was a caddy, which meant I was holding space for the sex that was happening, which meant I was like offering lube and like, can I dust off your dildo while you do that thing? And can I hold back your hair while you do that thing that you're doing? Which was great. So I got to watch and listen to hot fucking ladies for 4 hours. And at the end of it, I had not gotten laid, and I was really fucking horny. And so I left the Strap-On-a-thon as the party was over, and I was like, I need to deal with the blue clit that's happening right now. So I went like looking for other beavers, as you do. And so I went and I found a crush that I had had, a newly found crush that was a beaver as well. And she was sitting on top of this bright blue school bus right next to the orgy dome. And she was sitting there with 2 other women and Reed. And I'm like, I explained to them my plight. And they took it upon themselves to aid me in the way that I needed. And I was really only looking for that crush, but I'm like, I've never been one to pass up a deal, so. Thank you. 5 for the price of 1, man. Like, get in there. So we went to the Pangender Dome, and the 5 of us started getting all groupy and feely and sexy and lovey, and then one of the girls started having feelings, and she needed to leave. And then the 4 of us started getting gropey and sexy and lovey. And so the 4 of us were making out and kissing and touching, and then my crush, I started fingering her, and it was really nice and yummy. And then Reed asks, Allison, can I go down on you? And I'm like, I'm a lesbian. I don't know how I feel about like prickly beard things. Unless it's, beaverly beard things. It's never okay, right, Melina? Right? You know. Well, some of us don't like it. So I wasn't quite sure, but then I was like, well, blue clit, mouth is a mouth is a mouth. I believe that you can take care of this for me. So I said, yeah, go for it. And so he started eating me out from behind while I was finger fucking my crush. And I'm like, yes, this works. Yep. Okay. I'm happy. And then I start going down on my crush, and Reed says, hey, Allison, can I fuck you? I'm like, oh, fucking, of course. A guy can't have sex with 4 women without wanting his penis to be the center of his fucking attention. I'm like, oh. And I'm just like, I have a hesitation. And then he's like, oh, if you're worried, I have gloves if you're concerned. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, gloves for safer hand sex? I'm like, wait, you wanted to fuck me with your hand? And he's like, of course. What else would I do? And so I'm like, well, just for that, yeah, let's do that. And so he hand fucks me while I'm going down on my crush, and the 3rd girl is making out with everybody, and it's really fun and hot, and I'm really enjoying it. And then things progress, and then he, later, he says, Allison, I have a request, but I don't want to insult you or confront you in a way. And I'm like, here it comes! Poor lonely dick, not getting attention, needing to, own the space. I'm like, yeah, what do you want? He says, have you ever pegged a man before? And always one for a new experience, I lie and say, yes, I have. Yes, I have. And so he harnesses me up, and I proceed to peg him, and it's really sexy, and it's fun, and it's like fucking a woman with a strap on, but it's different, and it's wonderful, and it's differences, and I'm like, wow, this is a whole new world. And so I peg him while he does things to the other ladies, and everybody's really happy. And then at the end of it, we're all cuddling, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this guy just fucked me like a dyke, and I just fucked him like a dyke, and I had the best lesbian sex at the lesbian camp with the one dude. What? It was awesome. So flash forward 3 months, and he's visiting me in LA. And I'm really nervous about introducing him to a bunch of my friends because I had heard horror stories of like women being eschewed from their lesbian communities when they start dating men. I didn't want that to happen with me and my community, so I was scared. So we all like made plans to go out to Jumbo's Clown Room, the best strip club in the universe. And so we go to Jumbo's Clown Room, and I'm like almost kind of trying to prove that like maybe like he's not as into dykes as he likes to think he is. Like, you know, like I like dress as butch as I often did, and like I actually even packed, and I wore like my strap on and harness underneath my pants, and I'm like, all right, dude, if you really think you're into it, like let's prove that shit. And so we all go out with a bunch of my dykes, and we watch a bunch of strippers being strippers, and it was very sexy. And he like totally holds court with all of them. He like endears himself to all of even the most skeptical dykes about them, and they're like, okay, yeah, I can get this. I'm like, okay, shocking, okay. So and I noticed that like while I'm like all like butched out, he's like paying way more attention to the bulge in my pants than he is to the naked ladies writhing on stage. And so we go home, and we barely make it in my front door before he drops to his knees and pulls out my cock and just starts blowing me. Yeah. And so he's like fucking like throat fucking me, and like I have an impressive dick, I'm not gonna lie. He's going for it, and then he pulls down my pants to my ankles, and he's deep throating me, and he starts fingering me at the same time, and then he stands up, and we grab both our dicks together, and we start jerking ourselves off together, and we kind of grab it in like one big burrito of hot cock, and we're like fucking each other. It's like two teenage boys at prep school. We're like, oh! And we're like just going crazy, and then I bend him over the bed, and I fuck him, and I give him a reach around as I'm fucking him, and then he bends me over the bed, and he fucks me, and then gives me a reach around while he's fucking me. And we proceed to have the queerest sex I'd ever had in my life for like a week. And it was fantastic. Our little hetero-paired bodies being like, we'll make this queer. We'll figure out a way. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, yeah. So that's a clarion call to all of y'all. Make that shit queer. So here we are, 7 years later, still having the queerest sex I've ever had in my life, and doing all sorts of amazingly fun things with each other and each other's bodies. And here's the thing, like, I love pegging not for the power play, I love pegging for the gender and sexual orientation play. Like I feel so much more fulfilled when I'm enjoying all the various permutations of my body and the possibilities of my body and doing that with another person. And it's not about power, it's about encompassing all of it, which is why I never trust a man who doesn't take it up the ass, in general. So let that be a lesson to y'all. But seriously, like I feel so incredibly like empowered that 7 years later, I have the queerest fucking sex with a dude, and I feel like the luckiest dyke in the world. Thank you.